What's going on, guys? Billy here, and last month I made a video on the Anker 521 power station, which has been my go-to option whenever I need to bring portable power with me on the go. As I've mentioned in the past, flying drones all day is a very power-hungry profession and hobby. These batteries hold a lot of power, so smaller power banks won't be able to fully charge them and may not be able to meet the speeds needed. Take the Mavic 3 here, for example. The batteries typically charge over a 65-watt charger. If you use a USB-C or A port that doesn't provide this wattage, then the battery is just going to take longer to charge. It's also worth noting that a lot of the drones on the market right now use a proprietary charger that requires an AC outlet to then charge the batteries, so therefore both of these Anker power stations would be perfect to charge your drone batteries on the go. Now, the smaller Anker 521 power station that we've been talking about here in this video has served me well because it's an all-around great option. It's lightweight, it has an ample amount of ports, and as I showed in my previous review video, the amount of times it can charge my drone batteries is perfect for most daily scenarios. I mean, 3 extra charges of my Mavic 3, that's almost 2 extra hours of flight time based on DJI's advertised numbers. Having this amount of power in such a tiny form factor really makes this power station a no-brainer. But what about those times where you know you're going to need a little bit more power during the day? Maybe you have extended flying sessions, maybe you're flying with multiple drones, maybe you have friends or colleagues that also need to charge their drones off of your portable power station, or maybe you just don't fly drones at all and you need to bring more power with you to charge and power your devices on the go. Well, then you're going to want to look at Anker's 535 power station, which is very similar to the 521 power station, but of course is larger and carries more power. So the biggest similarity between the 535 power station and the smaller 521 power station is the style and design, but the 535 power station doubles what the smaller power station offers in almost every regard. What I mean by this is that it has double the capacity, the DC input has the ability to charge the batteries inside of the power station faster at a higher wattage, it has twice as many AC outlets, and it can output more than twice the amount of power through those AC outlets so that you can use this battery to supply power to higher wattage devices. With that said, if you have more power hungry devices, or if you just flat out need to bring more energy with you on the go, then the 535 is probably going to be your best bet in terms of what Anker offers in their lineup or their family of power stations. Now remember, I mentioned that I really enjoyed the lightweight compact design of the Anker 521 power station, and I liked the ratio of its lightweight design to how much power it offered because I could charge a lot with it, but it basically took up no extra room. It was very easy to cart around, and for that reason, it wasn't all that much of a nuisance to bring with me. The same goes for the 535 power station that weighs about 7 more pounds, bringing the official weight to 16.45 pounds. Combining this lightweight design with the handle at the top makes this battery easy to move around and carry further distances. So in my case, if I'm parking my car and walking to a location to fly my drone, I really don't mind bringing this along, especially because it gives me peace of mind knowing that my friends and I are going to be able to fly as much as we want and not worry about battery power. Now, to further touch on the design and our port selection, on the backside of the power station is our DC input. Flipping to the front and working from left to right, we have our car socket outlet that's accompanied by a power button to turn this port on and off, a center display that shows various pieces of information like the input and output wattage, the percentage remaining, how much time the power station will last with its current usage, how much longer it will take to recharge, and the ports that are currently drawing power. Underneath of the display is a button to wake the screen, a single USB-C port, and 3 USB-A ports. Finally, on the right side is our 4 AC outlets with a power switch and a power saving switch. So with this enabled, the AC outlets will automatically turn off when your devices have finished charging, thus saving you excess energy drain. The last thing I want to point out is this light bar underneath of all of the ports that puts out a warm light that doesn't sip much energy at all. If this is all that you use on the power station, it can easily run for days on end. All right, now really quickly, I have to mention one of my biggest gripes with both of these power stations. I mentioned this in my review of the smaller 521 power station here. It's the fact that both of them only have one USB-C port. Now look, on the smaller device, we only can fit 3 USB ports. I can understand that they would choose to maybe put 2 USB-A ports and 1 USB-C port. I could write that off, but with the 535 power station and having 4 USB ports, I don't understand why they didn't make 2 USB-C and 2 USB-A. I mean, I feel like the industry standard is USB-C. Every camera, every computer, every tablet, every phone is shipping with a USB-C charger, so why not give us more USB-C ports? Now, as I mentioned, with the extra ports that we have here on the 535 power station, we also have more power coming from these ports. Mainly worth noting is the AC outlets, which can output a maximum of 500 watts. This gives you the ability to power devices like televisions, small space heaters, and other larger appliances. Per Anker's website though, you'll want to stay away from microwaves, hair dryers, toaster ovens, coffee machines, hot plates, electric vehicle charging, and other devices that draw a significant amount of power. I'd probably add refrigerators and other large appliances to this list. I should also mention that the charging speed of the actual power station is fast. The 512 watt hour battery is obviously massive, but through the 120 watt DC charging input, you can charge the battery from 0% to 80% in just a little over 2.5 hours. So this thing juices up pretty quickly. With that said, this power station, the 535, was built with the person that is always on the go in mind. I wouldn't have this lying around to use as like a home battery backup because you can't run larger appliances off of it, but instead, I think it's perfect for charging batteries on the go to smaller devices like cameras, computers, tablets, phones, and in my case, drone batteries. Now, because the capacity here is double, that means that the number of charges that I said that I was able to get out of the smaller 521 power station are effectively doubled here when using the 535 power station. So that means 6 extra flights with the Mavic 3, 11 extra flights with the Air 2S, and a whopping 40 extra flights with the Mini 2. If we put that into perspective, taking into account the advertised flight time that DJI has published, that means that we can fly for an extra 4 hours and 36 minutes with the Mavic 3, an extra 5 hours and 41 minutes with the Air 2S, and a crazy 15 hours and 30 minutes of extra flight time with the Mini 2. Now, of course, you're never going to achieve that maximum flight time that's advertised by these drone manufacturers just because it's very heavily dependent on your flying style, whether you're a little bit more reserved or a little bit more aggressive. And also with good practice, you're going to be landing with about 15 to 20% remaining in the battery. So with all of those kind of adding up against you, you're never going to hit that advertised flight time. But if you bring a power station like the 535 with you, you never really have to worry about flight time because you basically have unlimited power. Now, something interesting I like to do is evaluate the price of buying, like, say, one of these or batteries, extra batteries for your drone to see which one makes more sense economically. To break things down, the 535 power station here from Anker comes in with a price tag of $500. So remember, with this battery, we can charge a Mavic 3 battery 6 times, an Air 2S battery 11 times, and a Mini 2 battery 40 times. If we wanted to buy this many batteries for each of these drones, the price tag would be way higher than the cost of one of these power stations. And think about it, you get the flexibility to charge other devices like your tablet you might be flying with, your remote controller, your computer for offloading files, and you can use it to power and charge other devices than just your drone. You can even pair this with a solar panel and effectively get unlimited power, thus making all of these numbers I just threw at you kind of irrelevant. So with all things considered, which do you think is right for you, the 521 power station or the 535 power station? I really don't think that one is better than the other. I think that they achieve different needs, right? I mean, this one is obviously better because it can charge more things and has a higher output power and you can charge it faster, but the 521 power station is awesome because of how small and lightweight it is, and I still think that this one is going to be my go-to because it offers just the right amount of extra power for me and it doesn't take up all that much room. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts on these power stations down in the comment section below, and as always, I'll talk to you later. Peace.